Hi, beloveds. Hope you're doing well. This is part 3 of Your Career is Your Business. So we talked about taking action. We talked about mission statements. We talked about vision. And we talked about some other things about not putting yourself on sale. When you have a business, some businesses, put things on sale, but if you undercharge all the time, you're going to go bankrupt. So you don't want to do that. So we talked a lot about things. And so now let's talk about the last 3 points about how to, treat your career like a business. The next one is research and development. So many businesses, many corporations, they do something called R&D, research and development. And they actually invest many times a lot of money, a lot of time, years can go into R&D. And why do they do it? Because they know that the end result is going to be good. They know they're betting on that the return on their investment is going to make a lot of difference. Now, do they always get a return on their investment? Maybe not all the time, but they make really smart strategic decisions, and they do their research and they develop. And so if we think about that, how might we apply that to our career? Well, when you're managing your career like a business, you want to think about trial and error, trying things, experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't, what you like, what you don't like. Sometimes we think things that are our strengths are actually things we enjoy, but we may not be as good at them as we think we are, or vice versa. So research and development is about getting to know yourself, experimenting, and learning more. And it's also about investing in yourself. Okay, so I have a career direction program. That's an example of how someone may invest in themselves. There's many ways to invest in yourself. You can go back to school. You can explore what other options are. You can get a certificate. You can do an internship. You can, have a coach, have a consultant. There's so many different ways that you can do some research and development that can benefit your own career so that you can do great and you'll get that really good return on investment. So that's R&D. I think, again, this is something that is applicable to folks, whether you're individual or you're a business. It's just a really good something to keep in mind. And I have to say that out of all of the tips that I shared in the videos, from 1, 2, 3, this is the third one in this series. This one is my favorite. This is the one that I would say has helped me the most, is R&D. I have found that when I invest in myself, when I experiment, when I explore, when I find meaning, that is something that no one can take away. That is something that benefits me, and I've always found a return on investment. And it can be about perspective too, because let's say something didn't give me a return on investment in terms of money, but I learned something that really had a big impact. So when I think about return on investment, it can just be clarity. It can be, an increase in income. It could be additional education that no one can take away because I've invested in myself. So it's so just awesome. So anyway, that's my favorite one. Another one is about civility. Okay, civility. And just being a good person. How do you treat other people? How do you treat your vendors that you work with? How do you treat your colleagues? How do you treat your bosses? How do you treat other people? So it's really important to just be a good person, don't be all trifling and spiteful and all that dramatic stuff. Nobody wants that. When you go into a business, you don't want that either. You don't want to go in there and someone's being all trifling and rude. So you don't want to be that in your personal life, in your work life. And it seems obvious, but we've gone to places, we've worked with people, and it's not so obvious to everybody. So I've got to say it. And the next piece, so the third one is actually, if we think about being a good person, we also want to think about having good results. And we touched on this very briefly in the first video, but I didn't really go into it. Have a good product. That's you. Have good results. Have good work ethic. Meet or exceed your expectations. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're not sure you can do it, say so. They always say it's better to under-deliver, under-promise, over-deliver. That can be a good strategy. So R&D, research, development, invest in yourself. Okay, invest in yourself. Take the time out to reflect, to introspect, to really think about what you want, who you are, how you're gonna, contribute to the world, and how you cannot put yourself on sale. And, think about that. Research and develop into yourself about what your next step is and how you might get there, and invest some time and energy and heart and spirit into doing that. And then be a good person, have good results. You want to make sure that we talked in another video about how, people can like you, but they're not going to refer you if you don't have a good product, if you don't have good results. And so this goes line in line with that. And the other thing is when we think about being civil and having good relationships, in businesses, they have Yelp and Google reviews and all this kind of thing. Well, you know what? They have that for one-on-one folks too. There will be people who know you and who will vouch for you, and people who will not. And it's very similar to the Yelp and Google reviews. It's just a different kind of perspective. So think about that, because all of that matters. All right, folks, so that's all for today. Leave a comment. Let me know if this was helpful for you. And let me know if you have any questions either. Would love to answer your questions. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.